When I was a little girl, the thing that my family had all the time was macaroni and tomato. It's kind of similar to macaroni and cheese, but you use tomato sauce with hamburger. Sometimes we got hot dogs in it, sometimes we got spam in it, but that was our favorite thing. And it was my dad was in college. He was in college forever. Anyway, he was in college, and so we were on a strict budget, and pasta is very inexpensive. So that's what we got a lot. And even now, when we go home, we're like, Mom, make us macaroni and tomato. Because we all love it. It's just really good. So if you want to make it, it's a good thing to do. So when I was thinking about what to write, I thought, what better thing to write about than macaroni and cheese? So I'm going to tell you a little bit about macaroni and cheese. Actually, pasta. It started out with pasta. And this pasta was created, the earliest we could find was the Shang Dynasty, 5,000 years BC, that they had made their own pasta. And pasta is made with layers of flour and then water, and they just layer it up. And according to ilovepasta.org, they say that they were able to make this probably with the rice noodles. They don't actually know exactly which one, but 500 years later, or 500 BC, we see that the yeah, when I was a little girl, my dad was going to college, and we were on a very strict budget. So one of the things that we always got for dinner was macaroni. So sometimes we got macaroni and cheese, and they would get hot dogs or spam or whatever in it. But the thing that I remember a lot is we had macaroni and tomato. And I don't know if you ever had it, but you should make it. This macaroni and tomato is made with whole tomatoes, macaroni, put hamburger in it, onions. Anyway, it's fabulous. Well, I grew up on this, and we had it all the time. And even now, when I go home, I'm like, Mom, make me some macaroni and tomato. Anyway, it's been a favorite in our family. So as I was thinking about pasta and how much I love pasta, I I researched it back to the Chinese being the very first ones to make a pasta, and we're thinking, or they're thinking, that it probably was done with rice. And pasta is actually, the word pasta itself means paste. So they take layers of flour and then layers of water, and or water mixture, like make a dough, and then they layer it up. So according to ilovepasta.org, they give us the history breakdown of pasta and how it goes through the different years. It goes into all the different countries. We have the Greeks, who their blacksmith god was actually the one that made the pasta press. So he was the one that made the pasta press, and to give it to all of us. And then we go into Italy, which was 500 BC, when the explorers came through and brought in, the different pastas, the Etruscans. They had it on their tombstones. Anyway, this dates it back to the different places. And then we actually have it coming into the United States with President Thomas Jefferson and his cook, a chef, who had come over with the recipe that they kind of stole. I know. And with a pasta press to make their own pasta here in the United States. At the time, this pasta was only for the rich. So the poor didn't get any pasta, any cheese. The pasta and the cheese was expensive. A certain type of durum wheat that was made in Italy was what was used, and most people couldn't afford it. So they didn't get the choice to have the pasta. But it was introduced into the United States. When it came in here, we were in a Great Depression. And in the first, so Kraft came out, got the recipe, made boxes and boxes of this blue stuff. And this is off of the Smithsonian.org. They have a whole history of all the different different parts of pasta, if you want to look it up there. So he brought it in. They manufactured it and made this thing, and it just took off like wildfire. Like 6 million boxes were made. It was a lot, and this helped with a lot of these families getting through the depression. At pastafits.org, they talk about how, at the time the poor people couldn't afford the pasta in other countries, but in Utah or United States, definitely, because they had figured out how to manufacture it in a very inexpensive way. 37 cents it was all it would cost to feed a whole family on pasta. And in the Great Depression, this was a remarkable thing. I am going to include the recipe that I found that was brought over across. And then also PBS.org shows us all different things of how our economy has grown from this. It's gone out into all different kinds of different pastas. There's over 600 shapes of pasta made. No easy feat. And then we also see that that they have on specials that go across all the time. So this pasta has been a staple in the United States since Thomas Jefferson and his I'm trying to think what his chef's name was. I forget. Also, during that time, I don't know if you remember, but there's a song called Yankee Doodle Dandy. And that's because only the rich could have the fancy hairdos and hats and stuff like that. That comes off of the history on the Fox.com website that I was able to pull up on that too. Anyway, there's lots of great information on there if you want to go home and make some pastas today. They have Easy Mac. Just put it in the microwave with cheese and water and boil water with the pasta. They have the boxes, they have shells, they have all different kinds now. And there's other brands that have boxed off of it to give us lots of variety. So I hope you can enjoy some pasta tonight.